Good evening. This is Greg McKay, and we want to welcome you to DTV. This is a station for Democrats, by Democrats, and about Democrats. We've got a particular honor tonight. We're going to be talking with Vivian Shipe. Vivian is running for county commission at large. That means anybody in the county who's qualified to vote can vote for her. She'll be running in the May primary. I believe she's unopposed. And then, of course, the general is in August. And you've got to remember, it's one of those weird Thursday elections. The Constitution says that the election in August shall be on Thursday. So that's when we're going to have it. Vivian, how are you doing?
I am just absolutely wonderful. Spring is coming, so I'm ready.
Well, good. Listen, we're excited about you running. I'm hoping you'll win. I think it would really send some shockwaves through the community, and maybe we'd see some long-awaited changes start to happen. Tell everybody what you're running for, and who you are, and what you're running for.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Vivian Shipe, and I'm running for County Commission seat 11 at large. That means whether you're in the city or the county, you can come and vote for me. Born and raised here in Knoxville. I'm a mom of 3, grandmother 7, great-grandmother of 5. So I'm now in another stage of my life where I'm now raising teenagers. So that's a whole new ball game, as my grandchildren are now, we're a multifaceted family. But I'm looking forward to trying to serve everybody. I believe we rise together. And, I've always believed in the power of the people. So I just believe if you vote for me, the work that I've been doing for the last 50 years as a community advocate, I'll be able to do on the other side of the table.
Well, great. Anybody that pays attention to local affairs here knows who Vivian is, knows how she's always, you can always count on her to stand up for the people who don't have a voice. And there are so many people like that in the community, just seem to get forgotten when decisions get made. But Vivian's always stood up. Tell everybody a little bit about what you're running for, what a county commissioner does.
Yeah, so I'm running as an at-large. That means that I am like the extra voice. I am able to represent everyone in the county. So in all districts. So no matter what your issue is, and no matter where you live in the county, I'm able to come on board, learn about it, and work alongside with the person that is already in that district. And the way that I have tried to do that is I have spent, since November, been talking to different people I have what I call a CCC, a Caring Community Cabinet. So I have been talking to people from Powell and high school all the way to Turkey Creek, Hardin Valley, all over, who are subject matter experts in my five platform areas, which are, responsible development, sustainability, education, mental health, and affordable housing. So I've been blessed to be able to sit down and talk to some community leaders in all of these different districts and counties, and subject matter experts in those areas who, regardless of their party, their economic status, whatever, they have sat down with me and they've been telling me about what it takes in those 5 areas for all of us to be successful. So I've been on a learning tour, and I have learned so much information about all the different districts. And, from the aspect of the builder, from the aspect of the person that lives in the area. So it's really exciting to see how most alike we are when we start talking to all the different districts. So that is what I'm doing right now, so that as I go forward, when I become your commissioner at large for seat 11, when you come before us at the county commission, I'm speaking from a platform of facts, because I've talked to the people who need the changes and the people who are able to make the changes.
Oh, that's fantastic. We're seeing a lot of growth in this community. I read somewhere where there's 25 people a day moving in, and just finding housing for them, the traffic situation. How are we going to address? How are we going to balance this? We're going to have growth. It's going to happen, but at the same time, what do we do about the traffic and the lack of housing and everything involved in this tremendous growth?
See, one of the things that we have to realize is that everything is synergistically related. When we talk about affordable housing, we're also talking about responsible development and sustainability. So, example, when you're talking about building a new construction area, new development, you got to remember that think of it as an ecosystem that everything has to work together. So if you want to build this space, you got to see how's it going to affect the environment? How's it going to affect the people? How's it going to affect the land? Because if you don't address all of the issues at the same time, you're going to hurt an area. If you do not understand that how you build, where you build at, will make a difference in the life, not only now, but, down the road for our children. And then when you're looking at the growth, we are numbered like in the top 10 in the nation of people who are trying to move here into Knoxville and Knox County. I think Knox County's got almost 4,000 to 5,000 people trying to move into the area. So you're looking at a large number of influx, people coming because of our low mortgage rates, because of how great Knoxville and Knox County is in relation to all of the different benefits that you have from, the mountains to all the different ways you can get around the country from here. So we just have to be very cognizant of when we're building, not only what we're building, where we're building, but who we're building for. So we can't just build for the people moving here, because the numbers are showing that people are moving here, but less people are moving out of Knoxville. So we have really got to start looking at the numbers of who's coming in and where we can build, because we spent the last 10 years, we didn't build that much. So we're about 10 years behind on housing development of what we need in Knoxville to house people. And you got to look at our rates. The housing rates are up. The median rate of a home, almost 70% of people can't afford right now what is on the market because of what's going on in the growth and development of it. So we need to start looking at long term. What are we going to build? Where we're going to build it? We need to look at our numbers of who is here. We got to look at our seniors. Our senior population is growing. So where are we going to put our seniors? Another thing I think we need to look at is we need to start building more multi-generational homes, because people, for example, my home, it is me, my children, my grandchildren. When we're seeing a return to that, when we're developing, we gotta develop more 4 and 5 bedroom housing areas. I know that there's a trend of single soul, one home bedroom apartments or one home, but we got to look down the road. We always got to be forward thinking, and we got to take care of everybody. And one of the main areas that we are sorely behind on is helping our senior population. So those are some of the things that I think we need to look at as we begin to really aggressively address the shortage of housing in Knoxville.
That's a great point, Vivian. I know from my business that houses that people can afford are hard to find, And you mentioned the multi-generational idea. I like that. What else can we do to build or find or supply houses that people can afford?
Well, let's start thinking outside of the box. Let's start building some. We're doing the thing over in Austin Homes. We're doing. I would like to see us do more, like even tiny homes. We've got to always think about our homeless. We've got to also think about some of the houses that we need for our mentally ill. We need some wraparound services. We need some homes where people who can't live on their own, like Flanagan and Minvilla, our mental health numbers in Knox County after COVID, there's over almost 205,000 people who are seeking mental health assistance. I'm on the mental health board, and we presented our results of the survey last night to County Commission, gave it to Mayor Jacobs last week. But you're talking about there's no place for people to live. And for example, when you are someone who is mentally ill and you don't have that housing, because if you're able to live on your own, or you have a family that you can go to, but what about those who get stabilized and they don't have a place to live? We've got to find a place long term to think about the numbers that are going to need help. I'm looking at our numbers, our young people, as we're coming out of COVID. We have so many young people we don't even know the numbers. I think the information says that we are going to be needing mental health assistance for the next 10 to 12 years for our young people alone. Now, those are going to be young adults who are going to need places to live. So once again, we've got to start thinking all of what we're doing. We've got to start thinking long term. We can't just think of a quick fix. Right now, we got to think about how do we help everybody. We rise together.
Yes, indeed. Very good. And my wife wanted me to be sure and thank you because you've always stood up for the mentally ill. She was in that field before she retired and worked at Lakeshore and other places. And the thing is politically, there's really no constituent in advancing the mentally ill, but I think we have a moral obligation. I mean, and it said, how you treat the least of my brothers is how you treat me. So I think we have to keep that in mind. Sometimes some issues go beyond politics into just being human beings and helping people that need help.
I think so. Responsibility.
I think so too. And it's good to hear you've always advanced these issues, and I'm proud of you for it. And I'm proud of you for stepping up and helping and running just to try to help the community. Tell us, let's say somebody listened tonight and said, hey, I want to help this lady. This is what I want to hear in public, in public discourse. How do we get a hold of you? Give us your website or whatever.
Yes. The one thing I'm so glad that you said that, because what I need to do is I'm on a listening tour like we did when we did the town hall meetings. Seema and I did town hall meetings about 4 years ago about affordable housing. Yes, she's a wonderful, wonderful young lady. But if you'll contact me at vote4shipe.com. That's vote, the number 4shipe.com. That's my website. And I would ask you to please don't contact me. I want you to invite me into your spaces before your different organizations. See, I got to learn what you need, and you need to learn about me so that we can have understanding, because we are more alike than we are different. So if you would contact me at vote4shipe.com, you'll be able to find out about me, volunteer, give me your issues. That's very important. What are the issues in your area? Because remember, city or county, from one end to the other, I am the person that you can elect.
Donate too.
Yes, and donate.
Don't forget that. Yes, donate. I'm sure you got an Act Blue online. You can donate online. Yes, it takes about 4 minutes. Yeah. And listen, don't for a minute, if you're listening, think the candidates, any good candidate, they love $10 contributions, $20 contributions. Don't go thinking you got to give $1,000 to help somebody. Nothing makes you feel better than when you get home and there's a $10 check in the mail or something online. It makes you feel like you're doing something right. So let's get behind Vivian. We've got a great candidate here, real dynamic. Kind of running out of time. Let me give you about 30 seconds. What do you want to say?
I want to say that we rise together. Put me in office, and I will continue to do what I've been doing for the last 50 years, speaking for all of us. We are only as great as the least of us. So let's rise together. We love Knoxville. We can do better. Let's do better together.
All right. I love a positive message with an acknowledgement that we have things we need to work on, don't we?
Yes.
So, hey, listen, everybody, thanks for watching this segment. We're going to be back here in just a few minutes with Stuart Hohl. He's running for county commission in the 3rd District. We want to thank Vivian Shipe. She's at, what is it? Vote Shipe. Vote for Shipe. Vote4shipe.com. And it's the letter, it's the number 4, and it's SHIPE. There's an E on the end of Shipe. So we want to thank you for coming tonight. Really good talking to you. I've always enjoyed your company. And
thank you for having me.
I want to remind everybody, watching TV is great. Thank you for watching tonight. But just watching television ain't going to cut it. You got to get out and start talking to your friends and neighbors. Donate to these campaigns. Get active and do something. Hey, this is Greg McKay at Democratic Television, DTV, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for coming back to DTV. This is Greg McKay. We're Democratic Television. This is about Democrats, for Democrats, and by Democrats. So we really appreciate you watching tonight. I'm excited to introduce to you a fellow who's running for county commission in the 3rd District, Stuart Hohl. It's spelled H-O-H-L, but it's pronounced Hall, Stuart Hohl. And Stuart is running. He'll be the Democratic nominee. He's unopposed in the May primary for county commission in the 3rd District. So Stuart, welcome to the show, and tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Stuart Hohl, as you said, and it's the name doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you spell it out, but it's Hall, just like hallway. And yeah, you're absolutely right. We're running for county commission in District 3 out here. For those who don't know, that's kind of the Cedar Bluff area, a little bit south of Kingston, not very far, and then out down Middlebrook towards the Amherst area. And so it's an area with tons of neighborhoods, lots of older friends and neighbors, lots of young families. And I'm really excited to be trying to represent that district because I live here and we've lived here since 2016. And my wife and I, we have a young son, and I really want to make this position one that is accessible for the community and one that represents the people in this community. And I believe I can do a good job doing that.
Well, fantastic. So you came here to go to UT, I guess, and
yeah. So I came here in 2008, and I was here. I wasn't even sure what I was going to study right away. I came in, as a lot of college kids do, especially at UT, looking to explore. And I ended up going into journalism and electronic media. And from there, I wanted to study sports broadcasting. I thought I was going to be a soccer commentator. But coming into UT, I fell in love with three things. I fell in love with the balls. I fell in love with my wife, who I married after we graduated. And we fell in love with Knoxville and Knox County. We decided to settle down. We decided to start a family. And it's just been such a wonderful place that we want to give back.
Great. Well, we appreciate all your efforts. I'm proud of you for running. And tell us just a little bit, just kind of a basic, 101 of what is a county commissioner exactly, and what is it that they do?
Yeah, sure. So the county commission, they're really involved with a lot of the budgets and a lot of the zoning and land use kind of considerations that the local government takes on. And at the end of the day, the county commission in a lot of ways are the authorizers of what has been decided. And they also help work to hash out any discrepancies between what's advised versus what's good for the community versus what needs to happen for X, Y, or Z reason. There's, nothing is easy. There's no one size fits all. And that's part of why we have to have this representation, so that we can take into account what is good for the community and find the best path forward for them. And I think what we've seen a lot of times recently is that Knox County has not been the best when it comes to having a plan or to sticking to a plan that they set out for themselves. And what ends up happening is a lot of times the community ends up either footing the bill or not getting what they need to have a beautiful area that they want to live in, a place that works for them. And that's what I'm looking to change. For me, a county commissioner is somebody that's accessible and accountable to the people they serve. It's a public service position. And that's what I'd really like to take this position back to, of someone that is accessible, that is visible, that will work for the community and work for the constituents of the community to get them what they need.
Stuart, we were talking earlier with Vivian, and I mentioned that I know from my business that we just have a lack of houses that people can afford in this community. I've heard that there's 25 people a day moving here. What can we do about that? You have to balance, the growth against the fact that we just don't have enough housing. So have you got any suggestions of where we should proceed?
Sure. So this is one of those issues where there's no right way to go about it, but there's lots of missteps you can make. And so what we really need to do is, like I said, find ways to build houses that people can afford. Some of that's areas where we can do higher density, is in places where the infrastructure can support that. Places, we've seen things like tiny homes or redeveloping some old industrial areas that are safe to do so into places that can live, apartments or otherwise, like condos and flats and that kind of thing. Some really beautiful areas. The big thing that we're seeing, and we see this out in some of the more undeveloped, formerly rural or currently still rural areas, is that we're outrunning our infrastructure. And so one of the big challenges of the county commission and the county plan that they're working on right now is going to be, how do we balance that? How do we balance bringing in, we have to have houses that people can afford because it's so tight. We have so many people their expenses are going up. It's hard right now with inflation and everything. Everybody's feeling that pressure, and housing above all, even renting, I think has for a lot of people gone up $300 or $400 over the course of the last couple of years, in some cases more. And so you're absolutely right. We have to find ways to increase. We have to find places where it's appropriate to increase density. We have to find places where it's appropriate to not outrun our infrastructure. And that's kind of the balance of the county commission will get input from the planning departments, and they will get input from the communities and the developers. And the balance there is to find something that works for the community.
Excellent point. When I was at the election commission, there was a picture of the oldest courthouse, and the safe that the trustee had was on the front porch of the courthouse. The reason was this: they bought a safe. They made it in Cincinnati. They bought it. They brought it down the river. They dragged it up that hill. They brought it into the courthouse, and it was too big to fit in the door. Nobody sat and measured the door before they bought the safe. So they built a brick enclosure and stuck it on the front porch. And it seems like so many times here in Knoxville, that's what we're doing. I mean, go out to Hardin Valley. You're sitting in traffic for 20 minutes just trying to get to the interstate. So yeah, excellent point.
I was just out there last night. There's Advanced Knox is going on right now, which is a place, which is how the community can kind of share some thoughts on how the county needs to develop. And the Hardin Valley one was one I was really excited to go to, because the Hardin Valley area, which is outside my district, but my vote counts for all of Knox County citizens. And it's District 3 is very much the corridor out that way. So any development out there affects the people in my district specifically as well. And it was really interesting to see kind of how much development is going on out there. What are the challenges? And to hear from the community that is very concerned that they're not being heard. And again, accessibility and accountability is the role of county commission, and we're here to take it back to that.
Good for you. I know you're out working hard, talking to a lot of people, knocking on doors, making phone calls. What's the biggest issue you're hearing? What are the biggest concerns people are saying? People are
really concerned about schools. There's Knox County in particular has the school systems that touch Knox County schools. They have more resources for their students, and they're able to pay teachers more. They're able to provide those resources for their students. And a lot of times they're able to be better staffed. And so that leads to a couple challenges for Knox County schools. And this is really reflected in the parents' concerns, is that are their students getting the education that we should be providing in Knox County? It should be, schools are the bedrock of Knox County. It's our future. And it is, aside from that, it's where some of the most important people in our life, our kids, are going to spend huge parts of their day. And we want to make sure that that's a good place for them to be. And the ways we can do that is by making sure that they have the support they need and the resources they need to do that. And the way that happens through county commission is through budgeting and making sure that we're able to provide that to the school board. But, and this also, a lot of that also ties into the economic pressures on the housing market right now. There's so many people that will move for schools. And so they're not able to do that. They're not able to afford a place where they can go to be near a school that they want to be at. And what that leads to is, again, where teachers get forced out of the county, or they feel like they have to go take a job in another school. So we lose great teachers. We have a hard time staffing our schools, and the parents have a hard time getting to where they feel they need to be to raise their children the way they want to. So schools ties into a lot of aspects of the issues in Knox County, particularly around development, because there's not as much freedom for people to move around and be near a school that they think would be the right choice for their family. And the goal there would then be, how can we fix Knox County schools and make them the best school system in East Tennessee?
Excellent point, Stuart. We're talking with Stuart Hohl. He's running for county commission in the 3rd district. The county commissioner is like the legislative branch of the county government. Is that correct?
Yeah, very much so. Like I said, it's a lot of budgets, it's a lot of zoning. And, I talked about accessibility and accountability. One thing that I think, this position is a public service to the constituents in this county. And it's not a place for political grandstanding. It's not a place for kind of taking a stepping stone into a political career. Again, this should be about public service. And that's one thing, again, I'm trying to get it back to, is we should be solving local issues that I want to know about the roads that you don't like. I want to know about where you need sidewalks. And it's some of the people that are in office currently, I think, are not as concerned about that kind of stuff. And that's a big part of why I want to get involved. I've complained long enough. I'd like to get back to the community and do my public service.
So you're probably like me, Stuart. You're getting tired of the kind of the outrage politics, the different outrage of the day. I saw where one guy apologized because he had spread an internet rumor that they were using litter boxes in schools, or just crazy stuff that they keep coming up with. And that's not what people are concerned about, is it?
No, it's really not. There's a loud contingent that I think that kind of stuff will rile up, but it's not the normal everyday person. It's not your neighbors. And we want to represent the actual issues. And what that stuff is doing, what's getting lost in this outrage politics are the local issues. It's the people, it's you, it's your neighbors. And I'm kind of tired of it. I'm not kind of tired. I'm very tired of it. I really want to represent the things the county commission should be representing, which again is budgets, zoning, your sidewalks, your roads, your quality of life. That's what we're working on. I'm not looking to get involved in any of this other mess because it's not what you need.
Yeah, excellent point. And I know you don't want to say this, but I will. The lady who's probably going to win the primary is an extremist. She doesn't have values that are in line with most of the people in the district. And I've got to know you some, and you're a very thoughtful person. You seem very interested in just doing what's right for the community, as opposed to pushing some kind of extreme political propaganda. Political outlook.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're running out of time here on DTV. This is Stuart Hohl. Stuart. You got 45 seconds to say whatever you want. Say it.
Sure. Well, please look us up. We're votestuarthohl.com, VOTESTUARTHOHL.com. My phone number is 865-257-9140. You can text me, you can call me, you can email me. A lot of this contact info is on the website. I want to hear from you. Again, accessibility, accountability is what we're looking for in this position. It's what I want to provide for the constituents of this district. And I want to know your thoughts. That's if I don't know your thoughts, I can't represent you. And this is sort of an invitation to join me in being involved in your local government and what that means for you.
Stuart, thank you for being here tonight. It's Stuart Hohl, but it's HOHL, running for county commission in the 3rd district. This is Greg McKay. Thank you for watching tonight. And I'm going to say it again. I said it at the end of the last one. Watching TV is great, but it's not going to change anything. You need to get out and work, knock on doors, call these candidates, donate, send them a few bucks. Nobody minds getting a small donation. They love it, actually. So get involved and get out and do something. That's the only way we're going to change anything. This is Greg McKay. Again, we want to thank you so much for watching DTV Democratic Television.